A real gritty local derby, and here come Castleford, who won their first 4 against Widnes, Workington, Hull and Sheffield, but have lost to St Helens and Wigan in their last 2 matches. And Tawera Nikau is on his way to join that New Zealand tour to Papua New Guinea next week. He'll be away for 3 weeks. Kevin Iro's going from Leeds, and I know that these 2 clubs are not too happy that they're losing their star performers during the course of the British season. But it's international football, and that's what it's all about. And Lee Crooks on the bench tonight, one of the Castleford substitutes, the 19-cap Great Britain international. And I just wonder how many times has Crooks and his big friend Gary Schofield been on the bench for their respective sides. And making his way in behind him in the tracksuit there, Gareth Stevens, former Leeds scrum half, of course, who broke his ankle in the match against Wigan last week. Out come Leeds, led by Danielle and Jonathan Schofield, ahead of Ellery Hanley. It's Gary Schofield's children who are the mascots tonight. 4-year-old Jonathan, 7-year-old Danielle. A big night for them and a big night for Leeds. And I'm sure a big night for their dad as well, because he will be itching to get on the park and prove to everybody what he can do. Ellery Hanley, the Leeds captain, the Great Britain coach, the man who not only has Leeds on his mind at the moment, but who has the Ashes as well to contend with. And this is the Leeds team. Tate, Fallon, Iro, Innes, Cummins, Holroyd and Ontat. It's Faimilo, Lowe's, Mann, Mercer, Ayres and Hanley. And on the bench, Gary Schofield and Nick Fozzard, only 17 years of age. He's a prop forward. Gary Mercer, the Kiwi, 5 New Zealanders in this Leeds lineup. He was Leeds Player of the Year last season. He's just started a 3-year deal. The former Warrington and Bradford second row forward now will be here at Headingley till the end of his career. Gary Schofield, proud dad, watching on as his 2 youngsters are the mascots today, but I'm sure itching to get on the park and prove what he can do. Castleford, Stedman, Smith and Blackmore, Goddard, Middleton, Kemp and Tony Smith. And up front, Sampson, Russell and Kettridge. Sampson and Kettridge getting the vote ahead of Lee Crooks. Smales, Hay and Nikau, the captain. And Jamie Coventry, who will be making his debut if he gets on. He's only 17 also, and Lee Crooks. The match referee, John Connolly. It's his birthday today. We say happy birthday to him. He won't have much time for celebrations, though, because after today he travels north to Cumbria. He takes charge of the first match of the Kangaroo Tour at Workington on Sunday. Cumbria against the Aussies. The new boys in the Leeds lineup this season for Milo and George Mann. And it's going to be Leeds who will get this match underway. A great crowd inside Headingley tonight for this Stones bit of championship battle between 2 fierce local rivals. Castleford with a dreadful record against Leeds lately, and this is as good a time as any for them to try and rectify that, as Nikau runs the ball up on the first tackle in the opening 10 seconds. Cracking atmosphere.
Expecting pretty warm too. 2 sets of forwards, no love between them.
Sampson driving the ball in and driving himself in. He loses it, and it's a knock on. It was not stolen from him, as the big prop forward seems to think.
Sampson not happy with that. James Lowes, perhaps a little bit of a fingertip there. Look, daggers at the touch, judge.
It's now Kevin Iro. He unloads the pass out wide to Fallon. Fallon just takes the tackle. It's Innes who is there at the dummy half position. Innes having a little run on his own, straight at his New Zealand colleague Tawera Nikau.
Pretty heavy tackle there. They were moving up quickly. Castleford defence against Wigan last week were very slow to get into the game. That's not the case tonight.
This is Onta, the little scrum half. Holroyd and Iro. Good play. Tate has chimed in, and a great tackle from Andy Hay.
It had to be as well. Tate really was bursting onto that pass.
Here's Iro. He finds Onta. Onta in with Blackmore, who went in then and followed up with the elbow. Lowe's rightly annoyed.
Well, he did the right thing, Blackmore. It was a wonderful tackle on the French halfback, and then went for a second bite at the cherry. And it was enough pressure there to split the stone out. We can do without that. Right into the neck. Well, I know these guys get excited, but that is a silly penalty.
John Connolly laying down the law down. 35 years old today, the match referee from Wigan. He's had a stern word with Richie Blackmore, and he's given the penalty to Leeds. And Holroyd decides he'll just dab it into touch, and Leeds will run the ball with man at this Castleford defence. 12 metres from that Castleford line. Lowe's clapping his hands the dummy half. He finds for Milo, who finds Holroyd. Wide ball to Mercer, to Richie Ayres, and Ayres almost through.
He was too shallow there, Richie Ayres. He should have been coming from further back. It was a planned move, a switch to the blind, and I'm afraid that the second row was caught very tight and short.
3 metres from the line. This is Holroyd, long looping pass from Holroyd into the arms of Tate. He was clattered as soon as he received it, but got away from 3, got away from 4. And another possible elbow used on Alan Tate on the floor. Play on, says the referee.
It looked like Kettridge to me.
Mercer bounces off one challenge. Leeds are running hot at the moment. Ball into for Milo. Milo still standing, just had a look over his shoulder, looked for support, none was there. Leeds lining up for the play the ball.
Tremendous support play from Leeds. They're turning in the tackle and looking for support men.
Iro just tosses a pass up, and here comes Goddard. 2 tries against Wigan last week, and the touch judge is on.
Well, Kevin Iro tried to be far too smart here. Just dropped the ball on the floor. You could see that Richard Goddard got one for his corner. Seen by the touch judge, rightly so. Well, Leeds, that was a stupid action there. It was all pressure on Castleford.
Four minutes gone, 0-0. The ball hacked back, it's back to 0. And Graham Steadman picks it up for the second attempt, is then grounded on the halfway line.
Well, I don't know how on earth Ellery Hanley got away with that. He never even faced the man in the front. He was at the side of the man and then just lashed out.
Kettridge, well, did he play that ball? The referee said he did.
No.
To where a nick out. That looked a knock on. Oh, it's bounced off Richard Russell's feet. Referee says play on. Sampson will take some bringing down.
Well, he did at his feet, but I think he got a touch with the fingertips too. Plenty for the crowd to talk about.
Tony Smith at dummy half finds Steadman, who'll hoist a high kick in the corner. Here's a tester for Tate. Oh, comes up with it brilliantly, and the Castleford players all offside anyway.
Chris Smith was well in front. Connolly was shouting towards him. You can see him there on the left-hand side. He's trying to tell Smith to get back. And as soon as he made contact, he realised. But what a great take under pressure from Alan Tate.
Of course, with Jonathan Davis suffering from an injury at the moment, Alan Tate has a big chance to possibly cement a place for himself in the Great Britain starting lineup for Wembley. And that take from the high kick will do his confidence a power of good. Incidentally, talking about the Aussies, chatting to them at Ellen Road today, Steve-O, they're watching this match tonight in their hotel in Leeds City Centre, and I'm told that they have made sure that the hotels they use all the way through this tour beam sky into them.
And why not? Bobby Fulton is one of the best coaches in the world. He takes not in the chance, and that's a forward pass. There'll be no stone unturned by Bozo Fulton. There you can see James Lowe's, Iro well in front.
Forward pass. The referee puts down the scrum, and don't forget you'll be able to see the Aussies here on Sky. They're international against Wales exclusively on this channel on Sunday evening, the 30th of October. Something we're looking forward to, something the Welsh are looking forward to, and I'm sure there'll be a hot reception for those Aussies in Cardiff that night. as it is at the moment. It's Castleford in possession with Smith. This is Sampson, and that's a forward pass. Referee's pretty hot on these early.
Sure is, when he's standing 13 metres on the other side of it. Sampson wasn't happy about it. But on the replay, perhaps, he's proved right.
Connolly had no doubts. Leeds with possession from the scrum. This is Francis Cummins in the Academy Tour this summer for the British youngsters. Holroyd, another Academy tourist. Iro, the New Zealand international. And that's a lovely ball to Craig Innes, who hurtles down that wing. Great chasing back. It was Richie Blackmore who went with him all the way. But a good sweeping attack building up here from Leeds. Holroyd, they're moving forward in numbers. This is Ayres. Ayres out wide. A chance here for Cummins, and he's in. Oh, great stuff from Leeds. Great try. Cummins, his third touchdown of the season. Tremendous pace down the wing.
He could put this down to a beautiful pass from Kevin Iro that sent the New Zealander Craig Innes through. Quick hands, two long passes out wide. Holroyd first out to Ayres. And look at the youngster in at the corner. He doesn't need much space. Super try after the Innes run. Ontar, Holroyd. It's all about the link. He just pulled the defence slightly towards him, did Holroyd. Ayres realised that he was no way through. This guy knew the way to the line. Look at the determination there. Super play from Leeds. They build up well for that one.
17-year-old Francis Cummins, 17 tries from 25 last season, and 3 tries already this. Graham Holroyd on 21 successful kicks. The man who's keeping Gary Schofield out of this Leeds team. Ten metres in, and the kick just slices across the front of the posts. It's 4-0 Leeds, though.
Look at the length of the pass from Ontar to his fellow man, Graham Holroyd. Ayres that comes onto it. You can see how they just sucked in. Holroyd just did that little bit of a step. Beautiful play there. Cummings in. Chris Smith caught. The sliding defence didn't slide enough or quick enough.
Francis Cummins then with the first try tonight. Leeds coming into this match on the back of their big win against Widnes last Sunday, 48 points to 10. 9 tries. It was in fact their biggest ever win at Widnes. And third in the table, a serious title charge is beginning here at Headingley. You get the feeling.
Well, we mentioned before the game, it's the best start for Leeds for many a season. The confidence builds that way.
Ontar turns the ball back inside. Milo grounded by his opposite number, Dean Sampson. James Lowe's the hooker to Ontar. This is Richie Ayres again. Now, did he lose that? It looked a low. He did to me. The referee and touch judge had a quick look at each other, and he has ruled it this time. He looked one way to John Connolly, then looked the other. One touch judge says no knock on, the other said yes there was. And there was.
Lost it completely, the second rower, Richie Ayres. Won't be happy with that. He thought he was interfered with.
Now Tony Kemp. By the way, just to emphasise what Steve-O's saying about this Leeds start to the season, it's their best start since they won 8 on the trot in 1982. So their best start to a season for a dozen years. And after that Wembley appearance last season, real hope that this is going to be not another season of false storms at Headingley.
Most importantly, Leeds over the years have struggled when they've gone away from home. They've done well so far this season on that point.
Castleford are coming at them now, though. This is Andy Hay standing in the tackle. But 2, Hanley and Lowe's get him upstairs, and Ayres, the man who just hung on to the ankles. Steadman dabs it forward, and then he does a swallow dive to Steadman, and what's more, he's taking his time to get up.
Well, Ontar really just pulled away at the last minute. Steadman tried to milk the penalty. It wasn't forthcoming. But the position of Alan Tate was superb. Having a big game, Tate.
Well, he knows that Great Britain fullback job is up for grabs. There's no doubt about that. Jonathan Davis is injured at the moment. Not sure if he's playing for Warrington on Sunday. This is a former Warrington man, Gary Mercer, who's in possession now for Leeds. And now it's with Onta, and he is Richie Ayres.
Let's not forget that the Castleford fullback, Graham Steadman, he wants to just make a few points, doesn't he?
Well, all the Castleford side do. There's not one Castleford player in Ellery Hanley's 25 original. And what's it up to now? 26, 27, 28?
Keep going.
Well, they're all in with a chance. Ian Smales with a little run. There's another 1990 British Lion. Goddard, the new man in the Castleford colours, only 20, brought from Wakefield Trinity. Here's Dean Sampson. He was a tourist last time on the New Zealand leg in 1992.
Pretty good defence from Leeds. They're forcing Castleford into one-out football. Their only option left is this kick from Steadman.
Downfield, Jim Fallon will allow that ball to find touch. Taking no chances, Fallon.
Nice kick from Steadman, but the Castleford pack are finding it very hard to make the yards. Beautiful defence from Leeds. Moving up quickly, forcing Castleford down the centre of the paddock.
That match in 1992, by the way, the last win that Castleford had against Leeds. They're anxious to get their season back on track tonight and also to improve that awful record. Innes takes the challenge from Blackmore. I say Innes and Blackmore have covered some territory already tonight.
Interesting battle between those two, and Kevin Iro, of course.
Innes, strength from the Kiwi. Great tackle though from Tony Smith. Lowers the dummy half. Onta screaming for it. Hanley the short ball. Hanley grounded on the halfway line. 14 minutes gone. Leeds ahead by 4 points to 0. Lowers the dummy half. Short ball to Onta.
Well read there by Richard Goddard, the centre. He saw the pass coming. Really did take Richie Ayres' ball and all. Superb tackle.
That's a huge kick from Holroyd. It's hanging underneath it. Middleton did well.
Did he ever? Notice the arms going up. Offside.
Yeah, Leeds caught by the referee, moving up far too quickly. I think it was a question of take your pick.
Plenty to choose from.
They took a quick tap, did Castleford, and then they lost the ball.
Well, they're losing their way. Johnny Kemp, the culprit. Even his own side really wasn't ready for that one. They've got to get back. A bit of composure, Castleford. They haven't had much possession of the football. Not got into the swing of things yet.
Gary Mercer. Hay and Nickow. The early possession is very much in Leeds' favour after the opening quarter of an hour. Here's George Mann. Now Holroyd and on tap. Holroyd again. Tate screened for that, but instead they found Iro, and he was hauled down by Goddard. Jim Fallon's the man of dummy half.
Once again, a great read of game there by Richard Goddard.
Another hanging kick. Steadman's come for that, and he took it well.
Not only took the ball, he took one from James Lowes as well. Look at that.
Castleford really must retain possession now for the full set of 6. And they try and work the ball out to their own half of the field. That's good play from Kettridge. That's high from George Mann on Richard Russell. Referee right on the spot.
Sliding over the top of the shoulder into the neck. Not much swinging arm to it. Dragged him through. Either way, attack above the shoulder, penalty. John Connolly stamping his authority.
Now Sampson, the set of 6 here for Castleford to hold on to that ball. Of course, Leeds' next appointment after this tonight is Wednesday against the Australian tourists here at Headingley. With all due respect to Cumbria, that really will be perhaps their biggest test before they take on Wigan and then the 3 tests. Oh, drop ball by Stedman. Not a great pass, it must be said.
Yeah, but it's slack play. You could see he never committed himself by the go forward. He was far too flat. When the fullback chimes in, he's got to be running through. You can't expect to break down a strong defence like Leeds tonight when you're so flat on each other.
On time. He has got better as his Leeds career has progressed as the little scrum half. Holroyd. This is out. Innes and finds Tate. Good run from Tate. Gets the ball away to Onta, backing up. Good play from Leeds.
Super play, and it's Graham Holroyd with these long balls out wide, missing 2 and 3 players, that's causing the problem.
Here's Iro. Oh, ball back inside. Fallon wasn't alert to the possibility.
You can see the look in Iro's eyes. Come on, we have to take those. You cannot be championship contenders if you drop simple passes like that.
Let's go downstairs to Bill Arthur with news of a substitution.
Lee Crooks hasn't had to wait long for his opportunity to get into the action tonight. The 31-year-old Castleford skipper is back on in place of Martin Kettridge, who's been replaced. I don't know if that's an injury or whether it's a tactical substitution, but Lee Crooks is back out there.
Yes, Lee Crooks back. The leader, former Leeds player, of course, £150,000. Changed hands between Castleford and Leeds in 1990. And immediately is in the thick of the action there, the number 15.
I'm sure that they brought him on just to steady the ship down. They looked a little bit lost, Castleford. Forcing the pass. They're not getting themselves organised. They knew better to bring on than the experienced Crooks.
The last time we saw him, it was Crooks' birthday, and he picked up a back injury. I think that was against the Sheffield Eagles. And he's not really been back in the side since. Oh, a little fumble, but Tate did well in the end. A great chase. Blackmore, the suspicion of a flop, and Crooks was there too.
Pick is only as good as the chase.
Oh, they're really getting stuck in now, Castleford. Crooks is leading from the front, there's no doubt about that. There he is again. He and Blackmore combining to bring George Mann down. Here's Milo. Unloads the ball well. Lowe's, though, nowhere to go. The bodies ahead of him. Hanley. But in the 3 or 4 occasions that Ellery Hanley's had the ball tonight, Steve, he really has run straight. Normally he crabs across the field.
I don't think he's been allowed much option, really. A couple of times I thought that perhaps, and that's not the best kick. He knows it too. He's not the regular kicker. Alan Tate found himself in no man's land.
Oh, but Castleford just can't hang on to this ball at the moment. Andy Hay then overran the pass completely.
Well, they've been flat on each other all night. That was a pretty big burst then from Milo. That's the bad mistake. Getting warm, isn't it?
Castleford making far too many handling errors early here. 20 minutes gone, and Leeds just ahead by 4 points to 0, but a typical local derby unfolding before our eyes here. Innes. Oh, and a misunderstanding again between Innes and Fallon. Neither side wants to take control of this match, Steve-O.
Well, the second occasion that Fallon, you can see that, you're supposed to come short outside me. Fallon said, no, I was coming inside. Either way, the pressure is off Castleford. A few words, I'm sure, will be said from Doug Lawton to the winger Jim Fallon. Sort it out quickly.
Now they must hold on to the ball here, Castleford. Stedman. Good run. Gets away from Milo, but can't get away from Holroyd and Hanley. Richard Russell, the acting halfback. Crooks. Sampson steps through one challenge of Onta. Can't get away from Hanley, though, and with a little help from James Lowe's, Sampson is hauled to the ground. Russell. Here's Crooks again. He's been involved from the moment he stepped on the Headingley pitch.
Not only that, he's sucking in the defenders to him. We know he's a great man. He's got the pass away. Another mistake.
It was Nick Howe's ball inside, and Tony Smith just couldn't hang on to it.
Was there. Just took his eyes off the ball, looked at the man coming towards him. Enough to make the error. Their coach, John Joyner, will be displeased.
Leeds then in possession. One of their injured prop forwards, Neil Harmon, is downstairs now with Bill.
Neil, 4-0 up after 22 minutes. Do you think you might have a bit more to show after the efforts?
Yeah, we've had a lot of the possession. I think both sides have spilled too much ball, and without the ball, you know, you're not going to do anything. But I think, you know, we need to make a bit more forward yardage before we give it to the backs. I think we're spreading it a bit wide, a bit too early yet.
Cass have sent Lee Crooks on early on. That was obviously to try and contain Leeds.
Yeah, Lee's one of these players who, you know, he can always slip a ball, and he gets the half-backs running off him well. So, you know, we've got to watch his runners as well as watching Lee.
Looks as though Castleford are going to make another change as well, because their young substitute, Jamie Coventry, is ready to come on, and it looks as though he's going to be replacing Simon Middleton, who I think is carrying a knock to the thigh. So that'll mean in a short time, I think, a debut for Castleford's Jamie Coventry, who's just waiting on the sidelines.
Indeed so. He's 17 years of age. It will be his debut. He's a standoff. He's come through the academy in A-teams, but he's not on yet. Lee Crooks is, though. Crooks saw out of the corner of his eye that Tony Smith had supported that run. Russell is here now with Nick Howe. Nick Howe just holds on and takes the tackle. Russell there again. This is Kemp. Kemp out wide. Goddard! Goddard! Try! Goddard is in a rich vein of form. That's 3 in the last 2 matches for Richard Goddard.
The punch from the forwards led by Lee Crooks. Ball out wide from Kemp. The inside pass there, you could see that Fallon had no chance. Pretty late coming onto the scene was Kevin Iro, but Kemp, the Kiwi, long ball, that's how to steam onto it. Little bit of a shimmy inside, Fallon had no chance. Great try. You see Kemp running on the arc. Look at Iro, he's very close there. He had 2 men to mark, they created it, but this guy took it.
Great try from Richard Goddard. Really did come strongly against Wigan last Friday and has picked up here tonight by the looks of things where he left off. Big in defence early, and now he's scored the try. And Lee Crooks, having replaced Martin Kettridge, Castleford have their captain back, and they have their regular goal kicker also. Perhaps a little unkindly last weekend, we suggested that Castleford were cost victory by their goal kicking. Well, let's see if the appearance of the big fella can turn it round for them here tonight. Leeds crowd doing their best to put the former Leeds star off his stroke as he comes up for this conversion. He's missed it. So it stays 4 points apiece, 1 try apiece.
You can see Kemp running at the arc. That's enough to drag in the defence. It's just enough for one to just stop there. You can see Iro was in 2 minds, and that was enough for the big centre Goddard to make them pay the penalty.
Gary Schofield has come off the bench, wearing 14, clapping his hands. He's replaced Patrick Onta, so Schofield will play at scrum half. He came off the bench last week and scored a try. Can he wave the magic wand here tonight again for Leeds? He will be keen as mustard to impress. Knows the Aussies are in town. Knows his Test career perhaps is on the line. We shall see. And Castleford have made their change. Middleton has gone, and Jamie Coventry comes on. 17 years old. His father John played for Castleford. His uncle Paul played for Featherstone. From rich rugby league stock then, Jamie Coventry. Crooks will drive it upfield to Castleford. He's on his own. Tate takes him in the tackle. Crooks then made the break, and no one was with him. Kemp dabs the ball forward. Tate's there to sweep up, and Tate read it perfectly. Coventry so close to his first touch.
Just got caught short there, Alan Tate. Really had to sprint for it. was wonderful thinking from Tony Kemp. He could see that Tate was out of position. Near perfect kick, but what a great run from Crooks. Hasn't he lifted their charge?
Yes, Castleford's spirits have lifted visibly since Crooks has been on the field. This is Schofield now. Will Leeds' spirits lift with him on the field? Last tackle that was on Schofield. Holroyd was in a position to kick long downfield. Underneath it, Stedman. Taking on Iro, and Iro up to it. First touch, young Jamie Coventry, Russell and Hay. Russell the dummy half, Sampson.
Well, Castleford have just gone straight back to basics. Nothing fancy, let's just drive the forwards, get into the swing of things. Then when the confidence is up, then they can start getting the ball out wide.
Kemp. Oh, and Chris Smith couldn't hang on to that. Leeds have it back. Iro fed Fallon. Good chase by Tony Kemp. Good run by Fallon. He won't be brought down.
Not the best attempt there from the youngster Chris Smith on the wing.
Leeds then back in possession. So promising early on, but they're just getting a little bogged down at the moment. For all it is.
Well, Castleford's defence have up the gear in this one. They really have got into top gear now. It was a while. Very slow to start.
It's a good kick to the corner. Stedman gets away from Cummins, tries to step inside Innes, but couldn't do so. Crooks again. Such a handful, isn't he? So hard to pull down.
Well, that's the difference, isn't it? Every time he touches the ball, he attracts 3 and 4 defenders to him, which can just leave enough gap out wide.
Smales plays the ball to Russell, who then finds Nick Howe. Last tackle there for Castleford, 10 metres inside their own half. Now with Kemp. And that went sailing out on the full. Not the best kick.
Off the side of the boot. Not happy with it. See the look of anguish as soon as he left the leather.
So that was on the last tackle. It's the turnover from the spot where the ball was kicked. Leeds back in possession, midway inside the Castleford half with Hanley. Hanley unloads the ball to Lowe's. Oh, that's an awful ball from Lowe's, but he finds Innes. Second bounce. Such strength from Innes. Highly rated by Doug Lawton, no wonder. Mercer. Half an hour gone, 4 points all we would have expected from this match. Schofield, dink over the top, but straight into the arms of Coventry.
Good play by the youngster there, positioned himself well, anticipated the kick, just dropped back, not too far, read it exceptionally well.
Sampson does well when he finds Russell. Hanley's after him. Hanley gets him, combination of him and Mann and Lowe's. Here's Crooks. Now Russell. Nick Howe, good ball. Smith, Tony Smith, just couldn't keep his feet. Nick Howe, Castleford playing the ball quicker, injecting a bit of pace into it. Stedman gets the ball out to Coventry. Coventry dabs it forward, taken out in back play. Referee says play on. Tate will run it.
Well, Castleford paid the price there. It was good play by Coventry. Fallon really took him a bit late. Referee said play on.
You can't do that.
I know, but the Castleford side just stopped waiting for the penalty, allowed an easy step through for Tate. Got to play to the whistle.
Absolutely. Leeds back in possession. Milo picks himself up. Richie Ayres. Still Richie Ayres. Ooh, and he looked inside and saw Lowe's. Held on though with one hand. Here's Hanley. Through two, that's great play. Lowe's. Hauled down. Lowe's the supporting act that time. Spotted by his captain. Man to Holroyd. Here comes the high kick. Over to that far wing. They're playing on young Jamie Coventry. And
got to be offside. A Castleford player didn't leave it alone. Crooks made a meal of it. Did Coventry shout? I think he did. Crooks' experience said, I'll take it. And see the youngster there, and Crooks backs into him. Man offside, looked like Ketteridge. Sampson, sorry. It should be a gift, 2 points. But will they tap? Now they go for the two. There's a high kick. Big misunderstanding between the youngster Coventry and the experienced Lee Crooks.
Sampson just decided to kick it. He was stood in front of the ball, offside. So Holroyd then. This penalty will give Leeds back a 2-point advantage. It's kickable. Left-footed kicker, right side of the field. But he's missed it. Well, that should have been an easy 2 for Leeds. So it stays at 4 points all, and ironically for Graham Holroyd, it was 8-4 in this fixture last season, and Graham Holroyd kicked 4 that day to bring home the bacon for Leeds. He's got 0 from 2 so far tonight. Blackmore with the tackle on Alan Tate. Tackling by Castleford, not giving Leeds an inch. That was Richie Ayres who took the tackle. George Mann gets the ball away to Innes. That's better. Innes is brought to ground. Russell and Tony Smith. Ellery Hanley clapping his hands, wants to get on with it quickly. Finds Gary Schofield. He finds Holroyd with the big space behind. He decided to have a little chip over, and didn't Stedman read it well. He gets the ball away to Sampson. Oh, this is developing into a tremendous contest.
Beautiful kick by Holroyd. You could see that Castleford didn't have a sweeper, and that Graham Stedman was not directly there. He had to throw his body on the line.
Smith to Crooks. Collision between Crooks and Mercer.
See, this Castleford side are a different outfit when Crooks is on the paddock.
Nick Howe just managed to hang on, and then the ball was stolen from him by Hanley. Oh, the referee read that one wrong.
Well, Asani Fayamalo has the biggest grin. The ball's there. Ellery Hanley interfering. Now, if that's not interfering with the man trying to get on and play the ball, what is? He's a master, is Hanley, at that, and they got away with it.
And it's Iro who steps to the challenge of Kemp. He tries to brush them away, and that's a flop from Sampson. The play on, says referee Connolly. Tate skidded then, and he almost took 2 of them out like 10-pin bowling then. Milo strongly, still going for Milo. Good tackle in the end from Richard Russell. Lowe's, Schofield, good ball. Mercer running strongly, Mercer running straight, and hauled down 10 metres short. Last tackle here for Leeds. They'll go the other way with Hanley, who juggles with it, gets it back, puts a pass to nobody, and Goddard will pick this up. Well, that was a dreadful ball from Hanley, and here comes Castleford.
Oh, Kemp took the wrong option then. He had a man outside. The Leeds defence was all at sea.
Tony Smith tackled by Tate. There was a Leeds foot in there, and it's back to 0, the tackle count. Referee wipes the tackle count clean. It was Lowe's who made a play for it. Crooks will run the ball again.
Crooks quite happy just to slow things down. He knows that his side's got away with it there.
Sampson and Hay. Still going Andy Hay. Leeds scrambling to bring him down. Gary Mercer, by the way, is up the other end of the field being treated for an injury, so Leeds one short in this defensive back. And Sampson drives for the line, and he's just held up. That was reminiscent of 7 days ago, when he busted his way to the Wigan line. He couldn't bust his way then, and he's played the ball to himself, and he's surrendered possession to Jimmy Lowes.
Well, I'm wondering whether Sampson realised he could have put the ball at the foot of the post. He went close there. He tried as well. Doesn't have to hit the line. If it's at the foot of the post, it's a try. It counts. He tried to get away with that one, but Lowes was underneath.
Well,
plenty of drama.
Sampson so close, but now Castleford have been given a penalty. A Leeds player, I think, being penalised for tackling a man without the ball. There it is. It was Lowes who was involved in that, and he pushed the Castleford man to the floor. Richard Russell, his opposite. Well, that's a shiner from Lowes.
Well, they've been niggling all this first half. Russell and Lowes, plenty to say to each other. And I think there'll be plenty to say in the second half too.
Finally, that black eye of James Lowes picked up with a clash of heads in the Widnes match. I don't think he was in the ring with Lennox Lewis or Oliver McCall. Now then, Crooks with this. Well, it does nothing much for his looks, does it? That's James Lowes. Here's Lee Crooks. 11 metres out, almost bang in front. Castleford could hit the front here for the first time. Flags go up. They tell you that Lee Crooks has two. He's added to the Castleford total. It's 6-4 Castleford. And I noticed Gary Mercer was limping off. Bill Arthur.
Yes, Eddie, a half that started well for Leeds, scoring after just 7 minutes, is ending in a bit of disarray, because not only have they just gotten behind, but they've lost the influential Gary Mercer, who's limped off, gone straight to the dressing room, and on in his place has come the youngster Nick Fozzard. So the half not ending on a happy note for Leeds.
Indeed not. Nick Fozzard is not on his debut, even though he's 17. He won't thank me for reminding anybody, but he played in the St Helens match as Leeds were preparing for Wembley last season, when Saints beat Leeds by 68 points to 0.
But to be fair to the youngster, he was the star of the night. He's a big lad, and they're expecting big things of him at Headingley.
So Crooks again driving that ball up towards the halfway line. They have been transformed, Castleford, since Lee Crooks came on. Hey, into Leeds territory.
Well, they needed him. They were all at sea. They were flat. They didn't know what was happening. They lost possession early in the tackle count.
That ball bounced kindly for Francis Cummins. He's through Nick Howe. He's through two more. Oh, he's spinning away from all sorts of danger. That's a great run from Francis Cummins. Halted by Chris Smith. Two academy tourists together. There's the half-time siren. Francis Cummins with one try that started the half so brightly for Leeds. Crooks came on and transformed this Castleford side, and they hit back with a Goddard try, and Lee Crooks' penalty gives Castleford this half-time lead. They lead here now by 6 points to 4. This is the Castleford try from Richard Goddard. Isn't he in fine form? 6-4 it is to the Tigers half-time.
You're watching Sky Sports. In October, we give you Gibson, Pacino, Seagal, and 15 Flying Elvises. He's funny, he's romantic. Mel Gibson, Forever Young. Winner of the Oscar for Best Actor, Al Pacino in Scent of a Woman. All guns blazing Steven Seagal, Under Siege. And Nicolas Cage, James Caan and Elvis spend their honeymoon in Vegas. Great films coming up in October. If you don't subscribe to Sky's movie channels, call 0506 484 777. That's 0506 484 777 and we'll switch you on.
Breakfast here!
Cornflakes.
I know, sweetheart, but it's only a small-sized shop.
Cornflakes?
I know.
Kellogg's Cornflakes, delicious flakes of corn drenched in ice-cold milk.
I think it's going to last all week.
Should do. It's a big enough box.
Kellogg's Cornflakes. Have you forgotten how good they taste?
According to Vogue magazine, I found the best ever hair care product. I expect you have too.
You shouldn't be down on your knees.
I'll do that, love.
You? Get on your knees and scrub. You feeling all right?
Leave it to me, pet. If you want to pick up a few easy brownie points, pick up New Flash XL. It's the business. It glides through even the toughest grime, so you don't have to get down and scrub. Compared with old Flash, New Flash XL breaks down greasy grime so easily. It's a piece of cake.
Hey! Darling, you've done all that scrubbing.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, your poor back. Let me rub it for you.
New Flash XL does the hard work, so you don't have to.
Now you can get that airy scent of spring in a washing up liquid, because now there's new Spring Fresh Fairy. So you get that wonderful spring fresh feeling every time you wash up. New Spring Fresh Fairy. Spring bottled.
To help you cope with the unexpected, our financial plans adapt. Ally Dunbar, for the life you don't yet know.
Seize the day.
We're in the half-time here at Headingley, and Castleford ahead by 6 points to 4. Tries for each side, Cummins and Goddard. The goal from Lee Crooks. 6-4 it is. And this big Headingley crowd buzzing about that first half. It was a great contest, wasn't it? Andy Gregory, former Leeds scrum half now of Salford, been watching it from up here in the studio. Andy, 6-4. Lee Crooks has transformed, Cass.
Yeah, he has. I think I was watching the game and I was thinking to myself, if Leeds don't get any more points, they're going to have to get Crooks on, because Leeds was in complete control. And the errors what Castleford were coming up with, you know, Castleford weren't in the game. Lee's come on, he's played exceptionally well.
He has. He's made them what they are. They've got them 6-4 at half-time. His driving runs, and as Steve was saying in the commentary, he attracts 3 and 4 players to him, doesn't he?
He does. There's not many ball-playing forwards in the game. Lee Crooks is doing the hard yards, but, you know, he's sucking the players in. And Tony Smith, on a few occasions, he's not managed to get hold of the ball, but they're going to be dangerous, and Leeds are going to have to, you know, stop Lee Crooks driving the ball in, and especially getting the ball into the tackle.
Steve-O, as far as Leeds are concerned, it's a half that started so brightly, and yet it's ended, well, pretty disastrously, because by the looks of things, they've lost Gary Mercer at half-time. He's limped off as well.
Yeah, sad loss for him, Gary Mercer, to go off, but quite frankly, they were overconfident. I think that quite a few of the players, after the first 15 minutes, thought that all they had to do was continue on and keep the ball alive. Now, for some unknown reason, they were using the long ball with Holroyd, very, very good indeed, but yet they went into their shell. They decided to start taking Castleford on down the middle. They've lost the plot, I'm afraid.
It was a terrific try, wasn't it, that Leeds got early in the piece. And Francis Cummins, well, he's got some speed, hasn't he?
Yeah, but it was a beautiful pass from Holroyd that started it all off, and it's a good combination. It's great to see the half-backs, Holroyd on target and it away. Give him half a chance. This youngster, Cummings, he's a talented player. You can't do that. It all came about from a beautiful delayed pass, run-round pass. Iro gave it to Innes. Innes put him into the corner, and it's all about the link. This is what they were doing early in the piece, getting the ball out wide, you're getting your back three running very, very strong, and for some unknown reason, and I point the finger to Ellery Hanley on more than a few occasions, Ellery starts getting into the back line, and I'm afraid it's not the plot. You can't do that. When you're winning out wide, why stop it?
Castleford hit back, and Richard Goddard with his try, and hasn't he been doing well over the past couple of weeks?
Well, he's a talented player. He's a lot of people perhaps he's under, shall we say, stardom, but the way that Kent run on the angle, that was enough. Iro was putting two minds, Fallon went far too high, very little they could do about it. But that was all brought about by the wonderful call from Kemp. He came from the open side, ran the curve, Iro stood there, hesitated for enough, and that was enough to get the gap.
Andy Gregory, at one stage during that first half, the Leeds pack was running strong and they looked good. All of a sudden, they're starting to go backwards again.
There was the first 20-25 minutes. Like I said, there was a lot of errors in the Castleford side, and Leeds were well on top. But the last 15 minutes, there's a few out there, you know, in the Leeds side which have gone missing. And Dougie's going to have a few strong words at half-time to get them back in this game, because I know John Joyner and Lee Crooks, they'll be saying, you know, let's pressurise them, and let's keep it going.
How much does this run that Castleford have had, not having beaten Leeds for 3 years, how much does that play on the mind of players?
It's the local derby, and I played in this fixture when I played at Leeds, and, you know, it's a bad word to use, but they don't like each other, they hate each other, and Castleford will be going all out tonight, you know, to put an end to that 3-year run, and, you know, Leeds will be determined to keep it going, so I think we're in for a great second half.
Well, we've had a cracking first half, and it nearly ended on a high for Castleford, because Sampson's so close, Steve-O.
Yeah, well, he reached out, he did realise that all he has to do is place the ball at the foot of that post. Oh, so close, wasn't it? Good scrambling defence, but they gave away a silly penalty there. James Lowes gave away a gift 2 points from that. Took a man out without the possession of the football. And I'm afraid there's got to be a lot of talking by both coaches, but Dougie Lawton especially will have to say a lot to the Leeds side, because you can't just go out there and play for 20 minutes. That's what they did in the first 20, but they've lost the plot completely, and they've got to start all over again.
So there we are, it's Castleford who are ahead just by 2 points, and this match is all up for the winning in the second half, isn't it? It's 6-4 to Castleford, but I wonder who will go home with the winning pay here tonight. Goddard's try has certainly given Castleford plenty of hope for the second half, and we have the next 40 for you next.
You're watching Sky Sports.
Every day, thousands of savers receive a cheque from Legal & General. This ray of sunshine was brought to you by the big company with the umbrella. Legal & General. Trust us to deliver.
This stamp collection is worth a guaranteed £1 million. Collect the stamps with the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday, and you could win one of hundreds of daily cash prizes. You could soon be £10,000 richer, or even £20,000. And in every one of the monthly draws, someone will win £100,000. In all, we guarantee to pay out £1 million. Pick up a game card from your newsagent tomorrow. Start playing with the Mail on Sunday and continue with the Daily Mail. Don't forget, pick up your game card tomorrow.
Bob Marley's Stand Up for Your Rights was really saying something to us that we wanted to hear. We wanted to hear about protesting, about standing up for what was right. It struck a chord in our hearts and minds, but it also said something about what we were doing. We were marching against the SAS laws, marching for peace, marching against racism. And it was an inspiration, a powerful and moving inspiration.
Get up, stand up for your right.
When you get acid indigestion or heartburn, Rennie works fast. In fact, more people in Britain take Relly than any other indigestion remedy. Fast, effective Relly for on-the-spot relief.
If you know where I'm at, I will get a kick from there. Man, I'll blow you away. I'll blow you away.
The Sony Mini Disc can do everything ordinary tape can do. Except on Mini Disc, you can record digitally.
Okay.
It has random access. It's capable of taking the odd little knock. And it's as portable as you are. The Sony Mini Disc, the future of tape.
Now, listen to me, young man. This week on Ford Escort Super Sunday, that great team Nottingham Forest with those handsome gentlemen, Mr. Roy and Mr. Collymore, are taking on Queen's Park Rangers. Now, they both play it the way I like it, so watch it. I know what I'm talking about. Then on Ford Escort Monday Night Football, it's East versus West Midlands, as Coventry City visit Leicester City. It's a football double bill this weekend, exclusively live on Sky Sports. Now, give us a kiss.
Seize the day.
It's Leeds 4, Castleford 6, and Leeds, who completed the double over Castleford last season, 8-4 here and 21-12 away. They've won their last 5 league and cup going back to 1992, but they've got it all on here in the second half to win this one. Statistics from the first half, all square just about on the tackle count. Scrums 7-5 for Leeds, only 6 penalties, they've been shared equally, 14 handling errors, 8 of them by Castleford, and just Leeds possession in that first 40 minutes. Lee Crooks comes back onto the field, chunnering to all the players, building them up for the big effort to come. £150,000, as I said in the first half, that changed hands between Castleford and Leeds for the big fella in 1990. 3 years here. But Gary Mercer has come back on in this second half. He has replaced George Mann, and so that's good news for Leeds, that Mercer is fit and able to come back. And I would imagine, Steve, unless George Mann has taken a bang, that's another tactical switch by Doug Lawton.
Little doubt about that. He's quite happy to leave on the youngster Nick Fozzard. We mentioned before the break the talent that this heading the club feel will go very far in the game, so keep your eye out for the young Fozzard.
So Graham Stedman gets this Stones Bit of Championship battle underway in the second half here at Headingley. Leeds ahead by 4 points, rather trailing by 4 points to 6 at the start of this second half. And immediately we can go downstairs to hear from Simon Middleton with Bill.
Simon, you obviously took a knock towards the end of that first half. What's the problem?
Like I say, I just took a slight knock on my leg and thought, we're having Jamie on the bench, no point taking any passengers, so just come off to rest it for a while. And but we'll be able to go back on if needs to be. But Jamie's doing well.
Satisfactory end to the first half for you, anyway.
Yeah, that's right. We've managed to get in front. Now all we've got to do is sort of cut out the amount of errors we're making and secure possession, play the sixes out.
Was that basically the content of John Joyner's half-time talk?
Yeah, that's right. But he didn't really have to say anything to the players because we knew exactly what we were doing wrong. So there's enough brains out there on the field to sort that out. So that's what we're going to be looking to do.
That's a good start for Castleford at the start of this second half. That tackle from Sampson really did jolt the ball away from James Lowe, so the referee put the scrum down. Castleford have the possession with Stedman. He will play it to Russell, who finds Ian Smales. Smales greeted by Gary Mercer with that tackle. Russell again, here's Crooks. Crooks taking on the Great Britain coach Hanley. Russell again. Sampson trying to run straight through Hanley once more. That's twice the big Castleford forwards have picked out the Great Britain coach for special attention. Oh, and Tony Smith again. These errors from Castleford could cost them this match,
That's the second occasion that Tony Smith takes his eyes off the football, more intent of getting the pass away. Not the best tonight for Tony Smith. Quite a utility player, can play 3/4, 5/8.
We're coming from the coaches' benches, by the way, on the other side of the field, Steve-O. The ball very, very slippery tonight. Must be a bit of dew in the ground, I think. Dew on the grass.
Yeah, it's not helping matters, and it's pretty fast and furious. Bit of perspiration won't help.
Certainly a warm evening here at Headingley, as another mistake from the home side. Castleford have it back courtesy of Nickow. Cheers.
Well, fundamental mistakes like that really do put your side under pressure. But Castleford will be quite happy about it. 2 mistakes by Leeds early in the game. It builds their confidence.
Lovely ball that from Crooks to Russell, and he will continue the movement with that pass. Iro in the end brings Tony Smith down. Russell's there on the 20-metre mark. This is Tony Kemp. Long ball for Nickow, who called for it. He has got Blackmore outside him. But Nickow takes the challenge from Richie Ayres. Here's Lee Crooks. Crooks driving for that line, and it takes 4 to haul Lee Crooks back. Russell again. Holding on, then coming the other way to Kemp. Kemp, Stedman screamed for that ball and got it. This is Smales. Smales has got Goddard with him. Smales on his own through Fallon, trying to get the ball out wide. Hung on. It's the last tackle for Castleford with Stedman, who's soccer style dribbling towards the line.
Oh, the prop forward. It was Dean Sampson that came with the knees here. Oh, he caught it very badly then, it looks like Tate. He's been in the wars over the last couple of weeks. Remember, he had that bad injury against the post down at Doncaster. Several stitches in it that time. Then got concussed a week after, and that won't help the cause.
Dean Sampson coming in looking for the loose ball and collided with Tate's head with the knee. Well, I suppose Tate can be fortunate it's not as hard as a piece of concrete.
Not so sure he'll agree with you there, Eddie.
He certainly has been in the wars, Alan Tate, hasn't he?
I'm not about to say that Dean Sampson has any metal in the head, but it was hard.
Little mistake. And for Milo trying to play too much football, I think, in his own quarter. Leeds protesting that it wasn't a knock-on. Lowe said he didn't get a hand to that.
Either way, what on earth was a prop forward for Milo trying to get the ball away well deep in your own quarter? That's suicidal.
So Castleford with a big chance here. Stedman calls young Coventry inside. And Tate is there, and so too Hanley, to bring the 17-year-old down. Right on the Castleford 20-metre mark. Plays it to Goddard. Russell, the man in a dummy half. Crooks gets the ball into Sampson. Sampson for the line! And Sampson with a tremendous try. Just like last week against Wigan, he was not going to be halted. And Sampson with the 4.
It doesn't have to look pretty, and Lee Crooks does the rest there. They used a dummy runner, hanging on the defence. It was a woeful attempt to stop the big prop forward, Dean Sampson. Notice the switch back on the inside, but you'll notice that the man stood there. Beautiful play. They used Richard Goddard very well, and he got away with it. But not the best attempt at tackles on the big prop forward, Sampson. He'll be happy with it, though.
Well, Dean Sampson, his try against Wigan last Friday, he's added to that here tonight. Went so close first half, remember. A man, Dean Sampson, who once interested Doug Lawton. Lee Crooks then, bang in front. Leeds gathered underneath the posts. Extra 2 for Castleford. They stretch the lead. Leeds 4, Cas 12.
Crooks has come on the angle, but you can see Goddard, who's pointed. He's the man that they use as the shepherd. But this wasn't the best attempted tackle, was it? Went too high, did Ellery Hanley, and Sampson in. Forget Delilah, he's got the 4.
So Dean Sampson reflecting on that Excellent try. Castleford ahead now 12 points to 4. And 4 members of the Kangaroo touring party, by the way, watching from the main stand on the far side of the field. The rest of the Kangaroos watching in the comfort of their hotel in Leeds City Centre, courtesy of Sky Sports here tonight. Welcome to Great Britain, fellas. Welcome to the big league. They, of course, will be here at Headingley on Wednesday night. And we shall see them, of course, on Sky when they take on Wales at Ninian Park. The 30th of October, lovely ball from Crooks. He's found Tony Smith. That's a good tackle by Alan Tate. Crooks, a piece of magic there. Russell. Here's Kemp. It sticks in the arms of Coventry.
Super play once again from Crooks. And Tony Smith, who's followed him like a shadow ever since he came on, got the first real break of the game.
Stedman unloads, standing up to Sampson. He really has some strength, doesn't he? Russell. Stedman again attacks the short side and just grubbers the ball into touch.
Not the best option, and forced out wide there by Schofield. They'll be quite happy to be camped well and truly in the Leeds quarter. They're running hot, their confidence is building very much now, Castleford.
Jim Fallon, by the way, has gone off to the blood bin for Leeds, so George Mann has returned to the fray as Castleford are caught offside.
Bit over-eager there, referee John Connolly. Picks out the big second row Andy Hay, but he had quite a few more to choose from. Well, it's getting to that point now where Leeds really have to start shaking themselves. They're missing tackles, they really aren't getting into the swing of it. They've got to start running the angles, and I'm sure that they've got to start bringing Gary Schofield in, his experience.
Lowe's finds Hanley. Hanley straight. Good tackling by Crooks and Russell. Hanley wants to get on with it quickly, trying to milk the penalty. Referee unimpressed. This is George Mann. Holroyd takes it over. Holroyd brings it back this way. No one really for Holroyd to pass to. And he can only find Gary Mercer out here on the wing. Mercer takes it back exactly the same spot. Into the arms of Iro. Great tackling, Castleford. They push him back 10, 12 metres. Then Iro gets the ball away to Ayres, and Ayres is then tackled by Crooks. Iro stopped dead in his tracks by that tackle.
Nicow really hit him with a missile job then.
Here's George Mann. My word, Nicow jumped in the tackle then. Gets the ball away though to Hanley. Leeds trying to strike back. The last tackle here for Leeds. Lowe's, Holroyd had a look across this side. He's attacking Coventry with this high kick. Coventry gets a hand to it, and Stedman comes in and hacks the ball into touch. The youngster was put under intense pressure then by that Holroyd kick.
Well, the tactic was there, the youngster there, Coventry. They know he's not got much experience, but that man has, Graham Stedman, covering round the back. Let's get it out of here. But it's more pressure for Castleford.
Schofield 14 on for Patrick Ontan, the scrum half. He finds Holroyd, who finds Innes, who finds Iro rather, who finds Holroyd, who finds Tate. Tate brings the winger back inside in Cummins, and Stedman had come right across the face of the Castleford defence to haul him down. Here's Schofield who drops it. Hit as soon as he received that ball, the anguish on his face.
He tried to step, he was bringing his body round, he never had full control of it. As you mentioned, Eddie, the anguish there, came on as a substitute. I'm afraid he hasn't done the same thing for Leeds as what Lee Crooks has done.
That ball came out. Was it a knock-on? Was it stolen? Sampson protesting that it was stolen, and the referee concurs. It's penalty.
Well, there's a pass master, we've said about it, but I don't think that it was knocked out. And there's been plenty of words said, I think.
He's now given the penalty.
He's penalised him for not playing the ball, just throwing the ball between his legs. Now, that's not hard, But it's certainly not easy when you've got 3 men over the top of you.
I think he did well there, John Connolly. I think he spotted it.
I disagree. I think he had a very long look at the touch judge. A few signals with a hand from the flag waver. Either way, this should really put Leeds back in the game.
Absolutely. Holroyd bang in front. Left-footed. Not kicked one yet, Graham Holroyd. So confidence will be a bit shaky, but this should sail over. And it does. Leeds are back in it. Just a converted try away now. 6-12.
Well, the other ploy that Leeds have got to start looking at is the fact that over the past couple of weeks we've seen Castleford regular on Sky, and the fullback Graham Steadman has not been in great form taking the high kick. I'm sure that Dougie Lawton will get the message out to Leeds players. Let's pepper the fullback. Let's put him under pressure.
Here's Hanley, who will try and run the ball out. Doug Lawton, the Leeds coach, knows his team are within 6 points. He and John Joyner, two of them, coaches of the year. Joyner, the reigning coach of the year. Lawton, coach of the year twice, 1979, 1988, in his time at Widnes. Here now he's with big city Leeds. That's quite a run from Nick Fossard. Hanley. Turning, twisting, squirming in the tackle, but Castleford will not let him release the ball. There's John Joyner, the coach of the year, finding it a bit tougher so far at the start of this big league campaign. Castleford, one of the big names in the game, did so well. Steadman, though, slipping on the greasy surface here at Leeds. Must say, Steve, well, this Headingley pitch manicured to perfection.
Oh, it's one of the best in the game. It was a beautiful kick and chase there from the hooker, James Lowes. But I tell you what, he was lucky then.
This is great pressure, though, from Leeds just now. Pinning Castleford back in their own quarter.
This will be a test of the Castleford character.
Kemp. Tremendous run from Kemp. Last tackle. Well, he didn't play that properly either. Nick Howe drills one over the top. The chase arrives.
Gee, I tell you what, Eddie, it's been very messy at the play of the ball. John Connolly,
hasn't it just?
He hasn't read the rules to the letter. Probably wants to try to get this game flowing again. But there's been niggling, there's been people on top, interference, everything.
George Mann looking for support. It arrives eventually from Innes. Innes trying to take on Chris Smith. Oh, the youngster stuck to the guns well. Showed him the touchline. Innes accepted, and then Innes was cut down. Not a good pass. Holroyd. Tony Kemp flat out in back play.
It was a funny attempt to tackle from Kemp. He seemed to use his feet.
Richie Ayres was looking for support then. There was none. Last tackle here for Leeds. Lowes gives it to Schofield. Forward pass.
Lack of concentration. That's all it is. Lowes tried a short pass on the blind side. Schofield was in front. He actually stood in front of him there. Now that is a lack of concentration. And a costly one.
Nick Howe with the possession for Castleford. Ahead by 12 points to 6. Russell finds Steadman. Steadman again loses the footing. Here's Crooks taking Fossard on.
He knows what to do, does Lee Crooks. Took it up nice and steady. Get back into it. There's no need to panic from Castleford. They're the team with a 6-point lead.
Tony Smith to Tony Kemp. Oh, and it came off for Andy Hay, and he kept it going, but he in the end surrendered the possession to Craig Innes.
Well, he pushed his luck just a little bit too far, didn't he? Had a second bite of the cherry, got it back, and what did he do? Forced the pass when it wasn't needed.
Here's for Milo. Oh, what a collision between him and Nicow, but Milo stands up to it well and releases Lowe's, who is dragged to the ground by Sampson. Now Schofield. Good ball to Iro. Good ball in turn to Mercer. Schofield supporting. Ball inside to Hanley. Hanley with an outrageous dummy, and that's a great try for Ellery Hanley. Created by the Schofield run and pass, and an outrageous dummy from Hanley. And Crooks coming in over the top as Hanley was grounded. Hanley hurt, but Leeds have the 4 points.
They don't come much better than this. Schofield, the substitute, has been quiet up to now. Drew the man in on the second row, Ian Smales. Iro, a superb pass. There you see Mercer is playing out on the wing. Support play by Schofield. Outrageous dummy. Look at Stedman. He must have taken 4 to 5 steps before he realised that man there, Ellery Hanley. Hanley did well there. Committed, I think, was Lee Crooks. But look how Schofield run the angle. He just drags in Smales. That was enough. You could see that the centre Goddard had committed himself to step inside. Super support play. Kept his cool, Schofield. Look at that. Bye-bye, Steady. Bye-bye, baby. Leeds are back. Well played by Hanley. Squeezed another 3 metres.
Still not fit enough to regain his feet. Holroyd just has a little glance at him out the corner of his eye. Once all that Shimozzle out of the way before he takes this conversion attempt, which sails between the woodwork. The scores are level. And what's more, the referee has given Leeds a penalty bang in front of the posts for the flop by Lee Crooks. 12 all it is, and this is going to be a penalty right in front of the posts.
Well, I suppose a lot of people perhaps could feel that Crooks should have been penalised for that. I've seen plenty get away with it, but not on this occasion. John Connolly is in a lot of pain, is Ellery Hanley. The big question was, had Crooks committed himself? No, according to John Connolly.
And Holroyd's boot gives Leeds the lead. It's an 8-point try then for Ellery Hanley. Leeds 14, Castleford 12, and Crooks penalised for the flop.
Beautiful run by Schofield. He gives the impression he's going to go on his own, and then he comes out wide. You can see how he pulled out the second row at Ian Smales. But it was great support play. Beautiful pass from Iro. And didn't he do well? The second row playing on the wing, Mercer. The support from Schofield. And the lead skipper gleefully goes in for the 4.
And while all that's been going on, Lee Crooks of Castleford has been sin-binned as well for 10 minutes for what the referee saw as a professional foul. So he's conceded an extra 2 and he's off for 10 minutes. Castleford now down to 12 men as they try and come back from 14-12 down.
Weird old game, rugby league. Lee Crooks, the hero, turned to villain.
Good kick downfield by Schofield. Finds touch 10 metres from the corner flag. Suddenly Schofield steps up a gear. Suddenly Leeds pick up a gear.
He might have been quiet when he first came on, but he's starting to get the adrenaline pumping through the body. The crowd are going bananas underneath us here.
Fallon's back on, out of the blood bin. 2 stitches under a cut eye. So this no game for the squeamish. Fallon back on for Man, out of the blood bin. We're in the last quarter of this match. Goddard in possession for Castleford, and just take a look at this. In the final quarter of the match, that's the way the points and the tries have gone for this season so far. Leeds come really strong in the last quarter. Castleford tend to ease off the gas, and they've conceded 39% of their total tries in the final quarter of this match, or of this season matches. Will they concede another in the final quarter of this game? We shall see. Iro. Certainly Castleford a stretch now. It bounced off Tate's knees.
He'll play the first knock on. No advantage to Castleford. He deemed that Tate did get nice pass though from Iro. A little bit low. Pretty difficult for the referee John Connolly to decide between did it come off the knee or the fingertips. He took the latter.
Still Leeds match in terms of possession, and still Leeds match in terms of the scoreboard at the moment. You've probably been reading, this is a lovely run from Andy Hay. Hay is taking them all on, tries to go through Tate, eventually halted by Holroyd following up. Russell, he finds Sampson. Here goes Sampson again.
Super run on the blind side, that's how to charge onto the football.
Tony Smith. Nicow. Acres of space for Nicow. Leeds just slowed it down, courtesy of Milo. Smales from dummy half, trying to follow his way to the line. And he's just held short. Can only be centimetres away from that whitewash. Oh, the ball's come free, has it? No, Smales retains possession. Oh, that was a bad bit of play, but the ball went back with its play on the last tackle, and Russell tried to smuggle the ball over the line. Leeds were having none of it.
Disappointed three-quarter line there, Castleford. The hooker Richard Russell just fumbling enough on the last tackle. They were setting up for a move. They'll be disappointed with that.
Just before that run from Andy Hay, who's in there on the tackling now, I was going to mention to you the fact that you must have been seeing all these articles about Hanley in the papers recently. He tries never to show the opponents that he's hurt, but he was certainly hurt when Crooks hit him late. But he's up on his feet, and he's trying to rally this Leeds team ahead by 14 points to 12. Iro in possession. Iro takes some stopping, doesn't he? Iro still Iro over halfway. Schofield in support. Still Schofield, and at the moment Castleford can't lay a hand on these Leeds players.
G. Mercer took a bad knock off the ball, didn't have the football, really did get collided with somebody.
Clipped through by Tate. Referee is unimpressed with Alan Tate's attempt to milk the penalty. Stedman takes on Hanley. Stedman straightens up.
Well, the players don't have to move.
Offside against Leeds. They have to stand back 10 metres from that play the ball.
You could see the skipper, Ellery Hanley, was leading the charge. Badly injured. And they scored the try. Trying to cheat a couple of yards there. It really is desperation time now for Leeds. They've got to get this defence solid.
It's tight as a drum, this one, isn't it? Nothing to choose between these two. Remember, Castleford down to 12 men. Lee Crooks in the sin bin. This is Nicow. Russell, the dummy half. On his own, Russell. Stopped by a combination of Ayres and Fozzard. Gets the ball away to Sampson. Sampson trying to follow his way to the line again. Pops the pass up to Nicow. Nicow round the corner to Kemp. He hands it on to Hay. Hay back to Smales. Smales out wide. This is Blackmore. Blackmore to the line. He should have passed out wide. He has passed out wide. But it's all been pulled back for a forward pass. It should have gone first time. No try.
He tried to throw the dummy, and then at the last minute the one-handed pass out to Smith, but I'm afraid he went forward. Wonderful scrambling defence there. Blackmore tried it, but there was far too many. You can see John Connolly in perfect position. Good refereeing there.
Chris Smith was standing out wide. Had the pass gone first time, who knows? Cummins. Oh, that was a good tackle from Nicow. My word, it had to be. Schofield trying to jink inside Smales. Ayres running strongly. These two heavyweights of the big league. Neither side has won the First Division title in 21 years, though, but neither of them have been out of the First Division in all that time.
Well, this is where they really want to put the pressure on Graham Steadman now. Surely the big bomb. Badly hurt by the looks of things, Ellery Hanley. See the leg twist underneath. That's quite painful.
Play continues while Hanley receives treatment. A good diagonal kick. Smith will run this out. Young Chris Smith jinking and dancing his way up to halfway. Great tackle, Alan Tate. Lowe's made the play for the ball, got it, but it's a penalty.
Interfering to play the ball, he came round, he wasn't square. See there, you've got to stand in front of the man. Good refereeing, John Connolly, especially under a lot of pressure. Right in front of this big Leeds crowd.
Steadman then with the penalty finds touch. Here come Castleford again, down to 12 men. But they've coped with the one-man deficiency excellently so far. Balls come free. John Connolly looked to the touch judges either side. No one offered him assistance. Play on.
See, there's going to be plenty of talk about this. It's quite obvious that Ellery Hanley again interfering. Well, I tell you what, the message will be going out to the Australians. Ellery Hanley, I'm sure, will be involved in a lot of tactics around the play of the ball. Oh! What a shoulder from Blackmore.
Richie Ayres felt that, bounced up though immediately, played the ball. Here's Fozzard as Hanley limps off. Look at that collision. Hanley's taking his place on the bench. George Mann is back on for him and he's straight into the action. So Hanley is injured. Fozzard drops it. Goddard's there. And the referee says knock on.
Well, that went back in.
It did.
He said it second attempt it came through. Well, let's see if he was right. Looked all right from this book. I couldn't see it. Full credit to John Connolly. He was on the other side. Castleford not out of it yet.
They're not, because back comes Crooks. Damage limitation achieved. 2 points the difference. 10 minutes to go. It's anyone's this. Both sides now back to full complement. Steadman in possession for Castleford. Crooks, perhaps crucially, Steve-O, has had a bit of a breather during that 10-minute spell in the bin.
Well, he's knocking on a bit. He's no spring chicken. It will probably help. What he knows is that the 2 points adrift. They've got to get down there. Got to try to hope, perhaps, to squeeze a penalty out.
He's been in the comparative cool of the dressing room, being towelled down, Lee Crooks. He's back on the field now, and they're claiming that Innes tackled the man without the ball.
Andy Hay was coming through, and that came off number 6, Graham Holroyd. Fingertip from Holroyd. That was enough to just push the ball forward. Second rower Andy Hay claiming to the referee John Connolly that he was held back by Craig Innes. He probably was as well. Whoa. It's pressure for the merry whistleblowers.
Leeds head and feed. Schofield gets it. Gets it away to Cummins, who's wrapped up by Kemp and Steadman. Innes. Oh, drops it. More pressure on the way here for Leeds. Nicow has it for Castleford.
Well, does either of these sides want the 2 points? Steadman gets the arm to it. Perhaps it was dislodged from him. See, there's been some scrappy elements around these play the balls, hasn't there? Look at that.
And a big error count on both sides. Kemp. Hay. That ball pops out again. Play on. Again, Castleford look appealingly at the referee. Will have none of it. Tate has got Schofield in support. The ball was knocked back by Tony Smith. Had he not got to that Smith, that would have been try time.
3-on-1, and Smith did well, didn't he? Got himself in between. Oh, welcome to the big league. He's out as a kid. Oh, well done, he got up there. What a big knock. Well done, Jamie Coventry. That was a big smash.
Sandwich between two Leeds players, one of them Gary Mercer. The 2 points up for grabs in the next 7 minutes. Leeds at the moment ahead, 14-12.
Both sides are scrambling in defence so well. It's going to be a kick, surely, that breaks it.
Blackmore out wide. Chris Smith, great tackle, and he's in touch. It was Cummins. A 17-year-old on an 18-year-old.
Super football.
Great tackle.
It just hit the whitewash. Only just. Look at that from Francis Cummins. That could well have earned his team winning money and 2 vital big league points.
Chris Smith shakes his head, the 18-year-old. Thought his 4th try of the season was on the way. And I believe it's back chatting to the referee that produced that penalty for Leeds. So that's why they are in possession now a little further up the field than they would have been for the scrum. Here's Mercer. Jamie Coventry, by the way, is a little groggy, but on his feet, on the wing here, immediately below us for Castleford. But he must be groggy after he was sandwiched between those two Leeds players. Innes copped a high one then.
And a big game tonight. Centre Craig Innes run well, very strong.
Richie Ayres still. It's Castleford's turn to defend. Lowe's. Holroyd, high kick. Here's a tester for Graham Steadman. Mercer was charged by the shoulder as he went for that ball. Play on. Steadman with support. Steadman's taking on Tate. Tate with a tackle. This is a great contest between these two. One end to the field to the other.
Now, why on earth did Tate kick at the football? He's given him another extra tackle. That goes back to 6 more for Castleford.
It's Coventry, picks himself up. Russell, Kemp, Nicow looking, turning, no support, takes the tackle. Inside the last 5, plus stoppages. Russell attacks the short side with a forward pass. Everyone in the Headingley crowd with blue and amber on scream for that whistle from the referee.
Well, Tony Kemp produced a try by running on the arc, but I'm afraid the arc sunk on that occasion. He just took that step too far. There you see it, but I'm afraid that step too far. Never mind the bridges.
So Gary Schofield will feed this scrum. In no hurry, of course, Leeds ahead. Fallon in possession. Gets the ball away to Holroyd. Here's Innes taking on Blackmore, but Blackmore stands up to him. Oh, and then Crooks comes in again late. And he's conceded another penalty.
He's lucky to be there now. That's the second one. Wasn't malicious, but you could see the tackle was taken. Went over the top. Well, Lee's just lost his marbles a little bit there. Swinging left arm. I tell you what, John Connolly must have taken one heck of a big breath.
It's conceded ground, of course, to Leeds. They're the easy yards. Now they'll try and make the hard yards. Crooks in again as Fozzard's head went back. Lowe's the dummy half. Mann is the runner. Bounces off Russell. And they can't bring him down, Smales. Eventually they do. Sampson and Crooks.
See, these guys have earned their shillings tonight, haven't they?
Haven't they just? 14-12, 2 points in it. Less than 3 minutes to go. Lowe's.
Let's get out of here. Use the kick.
Ayres. Spinning Richard Ayres. Last tackle coming up for Leeds.
Surely they've got to pepper Steadman again.
Well, Lowe's went for a grubber kick to the corner, and all he did was find touching goal. It'll be brought back to the 20-metre mark, and Castleford restart with the tap. And here they come again with Nick out.
That was a bad option there from James Lowe's. He should have put it high, put the pressure on again.
Well, coming up now to 2 minutes plus stoppages. Vital moments these for both sides. Crooks dragging Castleford up to the halfway line.
Will it be a neat little pass from Crooks to find Tony Smith? He's been on his shadow all day.
That was Kemp to Nickow. Nickow is brought to earth by Mercer. Leeds defending now for all they're worth. Kemp still taking on the youngster Fozzard. Helped out though is the 17-year-old by Gary Schofield. Kettridge is waiting to come on the field as Steadman dinks one over the top. The ball comes back to Hay, and Hay releases it straight into the arms of Innes, and Innes offside, but for mine that came back off the Castleford man.
Well, what on earth was Jim Fallon doing? Sorry, should I say Cummings?
Well, what's he given there?
He's saying that it's come off Cummings' hand. No, it's come off Tate, he's right. Came off Tate and he's offside. But dearie me, the youngster Francis Cummings hesitated.
Innes has back-chatted the referee. He will play no further part in this match. He's in the sin bin. He's just been named man of the match, and he's going to see the last few moments of this game in the sin bin. So Lee Crooks now, with this penalty to level the match that Lawton can hardly bear to watch. There's never been a draw in these matches between these two in First Division football. Never ever before in the First Division. And Crooks can kick the two to level this match and give us 1 point apiece. The biggest kick that Lee Crooks has had all season. This for the draw. He's kicked it. The scores are level, 14 points all. And has Lee Crooks rescued a point for Castleford? It's in the hands of the timekeepers now.
Well, he gave away 2, and he dragged 2 back with this superb kick. It's not over yet. There's still seconds remaining. There's been a few injuries in the second half.
Yes, the referee now, it's all in the hands of the timekeepers who have knocked the seconds off as he's held up the clock. And remember, it's worth pointing out that Lee Crooks, with that flop, conceded the 8-point try that gave Leeds the advantage. And now he's kicked the goal that, who knows, will rescue a point for Castleford. Here's Crooks. Hero or villain? It depends which colour scarf you've got round your neck. Still time, you know, for either of these sides to win it.
No, they're really out on their feet, both sides. What a great kick from Steadman. He's opting that they'll make a mistake. Look at that. That is superb stuff.
It's with Fallon who will run it out. He's trapped inside his own 10-metre zone. Great kick from Steadman. Tate. There's the siren. A tremendous match on Sky again. We promised you at 7 o'clock a possible Sky Friday night classic. And Leeds and Castleford have come up trumps. And Lee Crooks, villain at one stage, hero another. And his kick gives Castleford the 14-point all draw. Leeds unhappy, the Leeds supporters unhappy with the decision, but it's shake hands all round and a real terrific local derby. 14 points all. First time ever in the First Division we haven't been able to separate these two sides.